Hey guys, it's Sheri Vegas and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to show you how you can take pure pigments like this and turn them into epoxy pigment paste for your resin art. There are a few essential items that you're going to need to be able to do this, and the first one up is pigments. So these are the language range of pigments which I received from Artisue, and stay tuned to the very end of this because I have a discount code for all of Artisue's range of pigments. You're also going to need a mortar and pestle, some containers to put your pigment paste in, measuring cup, gloves, powder pops, and resin. Today I'm using art resin. In your mortar and pestle, you want to pour about 1/4 of the jar of your pigment. So this is brand new pigment, and in total I should get 2 jars out of this one. So I'm going to be using half of it in total. Now I'm just adding some art resin in. So I'm just using the resin part from the art resin range. So art resin sells their resin with a hardener and a resin. I am just using the resin. I'm not going to be adding the hardener in because obviously then it's going to have a chemical reaction and harden. So I'm just going to be using about 1/4 cup of resin in my pigment paste. With my mortar and pestle, I'm going to thoroughly combine my mixture. You need to use mortar and pestle for this because you really need to grind it on in and combine it really well. You will have to do a few minutes of good mixing, and as I've combined my first part, then I will add in my second part of my pigment. So I've got about 1/4 of pigment in here, and then I'll add another 1/4, and that will be a half a jar into my resin. I cannot stress this enough. With the mortar and pestle you use, please make sure that it's only used for the purpose of making pigment. Do not use one from the kitchen because obviously resin is not suitable to be going back and forth with food items. So please have a selected mortar and pestle that you do use to make your own pigment paste. Now that I have combined my pigment and my resin, I just need to put it into a jar for storage. The jar that I'm using is from the Artisue website, and it is the perfect size because from one of my language pigments I can get 2 full jars of this, so it works out to be perfectly with the ratio that I am making. The reason why I am making my own pigment paste over just buying them is because it actually works out to be a lot more cost effective. 1 jar of this language pigment range can make 2 containers at least, and it is half the price when I do it this way than when I buy it pre-made. I also know when it has been made, so I can put a date on it and know when I need to throw it out because pigment pastes do expire, unlike powder pigment. With all my epoxy pigment paste that I make, I do like to put a label on it with the color and also the date that I have made it, just so I can keep track and know when it needs to be thrown out. I also do mix up a little bit of the resin and put my pigment paste in that, and then add that to the top of the lid, just so I know what color it is without having to go through and open all of my colors, because I do have quite a lot of colors, and this is just a little tip that I'd like to give you guys because it does make it a lot easier when you are looking for a certain color. Thank you guys so much for watching that tutorial. If you liked this video, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up as it lets me know to create more content like this. And as you can see, I've still got quite a lot left of my powder pigment from Language, and as I said before, if you stayed to the very end, you'd find out the discount code, and that discount code is SheriVegas10 for 10% off all of the Artisue pigment range. Thank you guys so much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos.